plead the first. American dream, I plead the first. White shirt, blue jeans, I plead the first. American dream, I plead the first. White shirt, blue jeans, I plead the first. American dream.
Hello everybody, welcome back from the weekend. Welcome back to I Plead the First. I hope everybody had a great weekend, did it right, got out there, had a great time, and got home safe. I know me and my friends, we did it big this weekend, went out and did a whole bunch of fun stuff, made it back safe, took care of each other, and I even got to meet a very beautiful woman. Shout out to her. But back to the business of the day. I want to talk real quick about our membership drive. It's the beginning of March. We've been in place for almost a month here, and I want to get our subscriptions up. Right now we're at 49 subscriptions. You can see that on the page. I want to grow that as fast as the Facebook page is growing. So what I'm doing is for every 100 subscriptions we can get this week, I'll give away a free t-shirt. I made a video of it on Facebook. So head over to Facebook, comment on that video, share that video, and let's grow the page. So for every 100, I'm giving away a shirt this week, up to 10. So we got to share that video though. If you just scroll by it, like it, or just comment on it, it's not going to have the same effect. You got to share it, get other people to share it. If just one or two of your friends shares it, it starts to multiply. And then we can get some real traction on getting the page bigger. So head over there, do that. I have a real good motivation behind why I'm trying to grow the page. I'm trying to grow the page so we can start a conversation that is valuable to our country that we all love. If we have a big subscription base, if we have a lot of people that view the page, then we can have a voice that is heard. We can talk to important people. We can bring on politicians if we want. We can bring on famous conservative voices out there like Ben Shapiro or anybody you might think of. You can bring on Jordan Peterson's, and you can bring on just anybody that you guys might be fans of out there, or people that are on the opposition, and have a conversation. So that's my motivation. That's my goal. Bring on people like Candace Owens. Bring on people like Gina Carano, or whatever's relevant at the time. But we got to build that subscription base first. So that's why I keep asking for it, just so you know the motivation. With that, one of my good friends, one of my brothers from another mother that's out there in deployed Air Force land, brought my attention to a story that is going on right now. So we're going to talk about it. Thanks to him. We're going to keep him nameless because we're going to keep him safe and secure. Democrats question TV carriers' decision to host Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, citing misinformation. The lawmakers sent letters to AT&T, Verizon, Roku, Amazon, Apple, Comcast, Charter, Dish, Cox, Altus, Hulu, and Alphabet. That is crazy. That is, in my opinion, illegal. At a very minimum, it's an ethics concern for the Senate. I believe it to be illegal. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. If I was one of these companies that received a letter from these two lawmakers, then I would be contacting my lawyer and I would be pursuing a litigated decision on what's the deal with this. You can't do this. You cannot pressure me as an official sitting senator to take something off of my provider, my streaming service, my whatever it is, my media outlet. So they sent letters out, and this is, I picked this Politico article for a reason, because Politico is pretty left-leaning, but I want to give a shout-out to John Hendel for doing a pretty good job, in my opinion, of staying down the middle and actually calling out some of the bullshit that we're getting from these Democrats over here, okay? He says it outright, crossing a line, and he talks about the letters here. I'm not going to read this stuff because it'll take up too much of our time. Basically saying it's very rare for a sitting member of Congress to reach out to a company and question their decisions to carry a specific news network. he compares it to the Republicans doing it about social media. I think that particular comparison falls flat. I don't think it's a good comparison. I'm not saying that because I am conservative. I'm actually not a Republican. I'm a libertarian, a conservative libertarian. So I couldn't care less about the Republican Party, to be completely honest with you. I think they're not conservative enough a lot of times. But given the choices I have, it's a two-party system. I have Republicans and Democrats to choose from. Most often, almost 100% of the time now, I'm picking Republicans. So, it's not because he's picking on Republicans there. I'm not afraid of somebody critiquing us as conservatives. I'm just not. It's the comparison just isn't good. So he talks about the letters, and it's funny that these senators wrote about moral and ethical principles when they're clearly breaking quite a bit of their own moral and ethical principles. They talk about how in their letter that the right-wing media caused, they're all trying to tie this to January 6th is the bottom line, and it's just wrong. It's very wrong. It's not, I don't even know that they really believe that. I think they're just weaponizing this. I don't remember who said it, man, but somebody said you never let a good disaster go to waste, and I don't know if it was a Democrat in a movie or a real life Democrat. It wouldn't surprise me either way. But whoever said that, that's their attitude over there. They're trying to weaponize this disaster, this tragedy of January 6th, and they're trying to use it to shut down dissent. And this is a fairly good article. I would suggest going to read it. The House Energy and Commerce Telecom Subcommittee will hold a hearing on Wednesday devoted to what it calls misinformation and disinformation hosted on cable and broadcast networks, with an eye toward both the Capitol attack and the pandemic. No one from the networks is listed among the witnesses. So I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here, but this is really dangerous. This is an actual true First Amendment issue here, for the first one that we've covered that I think is a true, like, you could get in trouble for this as a First Amendment issue. We talked about kind of our feelings on the social media stuff, and it's definitely a threat to our free speech, but since it's not the government, then it's not technically a violation of your free speech. We talked about how that line is kind of it's there, and it's hard to apply to these big tech companies, but this isn't a big tech company doing this. This is Democrats trying to shut down Republicans, which I think if anybody from the outside of our country looked at this, especially other free countries, they would be disgusted by this. It's embarrassing. So decent short read here. Good job to him for not being overly left biased. He's got a couple little lefty remarks in there that I'm not too wild about, but pretty good job overall. Related issue here. Senator Hawley, Josh Hawley from the great state of Missouri, is having a similar issue. It's related. It's obviously not anybody. Well, you know what? Let's just watch this video. Let's watch this video, and then we'll talk some more. Here we go.
Simon & Schuster has canceled plans to publish Senator Josh Hawley's upcoming book, The Tyranny of Big Tech, following criticism of his decision to challenge the electoral vote. Hawley fired back at the company, calling the decision a direct assault on the First Amendment. Joe Concha is a Fox News contributor and columnist for The Hill. Joe, always good to see you. Just so we get the record square here, I want to play both sides of this. You have Simon & Schuster writing, quoting here, "As a publisher, it will always be our mission to amplify a variety of voices and viewpoints. At the same time, we take seriously our larger public responsibility as citizens and cannot support Senator Hawley after his role in what became a dangerous threat." Josh Hawley.
That is an absolutely ridiculous claim. Josh Hawley didn't storm the Capitol on January 6th.
Responded by saying this, quoting, "This is the left looking to cancel everyone they don't approve of. I will fight this cancel culture with everything I have. We'll see you in court." And Joe Concha, you say
good for
what?
you, Josh Hawley.
I say, if you look at precedent here, okay, we look back to 2005, and Senator Barbara Boxer, Democrat, California, objected to the results of the 2004 election between George W. Bush and John Kerry, won narrowly by George W. Bush by taking the state of Ohio. So you had Boxer as a senator and 31 other Democrats object to the result of that election, citing, quote, widespread irregularities with voting. Okay, that's fair. You didn't hear a lot about that at the time. It wasn't amplified the way it is now. After that, Senator Barbara Boxer got a book deal, and that was for a book called The Time to Run, not to be confused with Born to Run, Springsteen 84, shortly thereafter. So Boxer got a book deal, but Hawley's is canceled. So I would hope that another publisher out there, because it's still a capitalistic society, would offer him that book deal.
It's not as capitalistic as we might think anymore, unfortunately. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Amazon recently said that they are going to stop publishing books that they find offensive, which is honestly just another word for conservative anymore. They have books. I was reading an article the other day. They have books on there. One is a book about trans teens, and it talks about young children giving fellatio. Somehow that's not offensive, but conservative books are being pulled off of Amazon, which is a problem. It's a problem. I am not for the pulling of any books, and I know some of you are going to be mad at me saying that. Books should be out there and be readily available for all of us to read, no matter how offensive they are. I don't care how offensive they are. I'm not even asking for the book I just mentioned on Amazon to be pulled. Let it be on there. I think it's important to the keeping of our history so that 50 years from now, when we look back at this period of time, people can read that book and judge it for how they see to judge it, however they see fit. I know how I judge that particular book right now. Doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of really offensive books out there, and honestly, I can't imagine a book worth reading that isn't a little bit offensive. So this is dangerous, guys. This stuff with Josh Hawley's book is dangerous.
They got with Simon & Schuster because it's very important what he's writing about, which is obviously about social media and its takeover around political discourse.
I just looked up rich in the dictionary and I found this quote by Eric Swalwell about Josh Hawley saying, quote here, "You led an effort to overthrow a peaceful transfer of power. The Capitol was overtaken by your terrorist friends. People died. You should resign and never serve in office again." Well, what do you think about Eric Swalwell calling on somebody else to
I
resign?
think you're an idiot.
Has Eric Swalwell taken any questions yet on his relationship with the Chinese spy 5 years ago and then being placed on the Intelligence Committee? I still don't think that part has ever happened, so he should probably take a seat at this point. Look, it wasn't to overthrow anything. This was, and I said this, I think, on this show or on the network at least, this was symbolic, just like it was symbolic in 2005 or 2000 as far as these objections are concerned. No one thought that actually was going to be successful in overthrowing anything, and obviously Hawley, when he did it, wasn't thinking that there was going to be this repugnant, horrible siege of the Capitol where you had a police officer killed, where you had a military veteran female killed, and just one of the darkest days in our history. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't doing that calculation when he decided to object along with Senator Ted Cruz and others.
Lastly, Joe, I got to get your take on this. The president's social media account's still shut down, but guess whose are still active? Ayatollah Khamenei saying, quote, "Those who ordered the murder of General Soleimani as well as those who carried this out should be punished. The revenge will certainly happen at the right time." So
there you have it. The Ayatollah is still on Twitter, but President Trump is not on Twitter. Which is why when I was reading the last article, I said I disagree with his comparison to Republicans complaining about social media, because there's no evenness to what's going on, and it doesn't compare well. The Ayatollah being able to get on there and openly threaten on Twitter to kill President Trump, let's not mince words here. Who he's talking about is Trump. And that can stand on Twitter. But Trump can't have a Twitter because he sends mean tweets. So there's a lot to break down here, guys, and we try not to make these Monday videos very long. So, you know, we may revisit this. It's enough information that we may come back to it on Wednesday if I hear that you guys are wanting to talk about it some more. But these are dangerous times for our First Amendment rights. It's one of the big motivators of why I made this page and made this channel and named it as I did. So get out there, share us, communicate on the Facebook page, talk to each other, make a great community, and start conversations with people because we need it right now. And until next time, God bless America. Love you guys.
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you.